Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be, wherever you day at the world. This is Mohammed Shilon on VOS coming to you today, June 9th, 2024. So we have a distinguished guest and the sole guest on we show today as a result of him having appeared last week, and people were a little bit, I say in need for more of what he gave to say. So they asked that he come back, and when we ask him if he could do that, and he gracefully accept the invitation for this week for continue, what he be the talk about. Mr. Jesmed Suma, as we all know, now be an active top level official now the NGC party before the alignment with SAPP. And then, but for one reason or another, as we know, generally speaking, things didn't go as anticipated, as planned. So therefore, this alignment was before the election. Then after the election, we find out that NGC joining SAPP was like mixing oil and water. You still can differentiate between the two. So each one of them decide, or NGC itself, decide for get back to its own distinct characteristic as a political party. So Mr. Suma is the acting head or chairman of NGC. And it expressed to we that they are back in the swing of things as wanting to become a major political party to be reckoned with, and that we cannot leave things in the hands of the two dominant political party, APC and SAPP. So we want for to explain to we the roadmap as to why he thinks the NGC will be a viable party to both APC and SAPP, because there are lots and lots of people who have no faith in these two parties. The reason being not because they dislike the party, because the record of the two parties in terms of governance, then two records speak for themselves in that they've done little or nothing to move the country forward. All right. And we also, in this respect, we also not today, somebody can call and try for ask Mr. Suma a question, but we know we try for debate whether the two parties have done anything progressive over the years, the past 63 years. But we want Mr. Suma to tell we as to what can he or his party do that the others have failed to do, and what's in the roadmap, what's in the vision or what's in the party envision for Sierra Leone. A lot of times the leader of the party envision for align or for be inseparable from that of the party, because the leader and vision you express to the party and expect the party to follow you.
Exactly.
So we get Mr. Suma today, and we are so happy to have him, and we hope when we listen, we'll have plenty of questions to call. So the ground rule is that please, we have a 3-minute time limit where we don't want people to exceed, and with all praise to we call us them, most people adhere to the 3-minute rule. Even when they're not finished for make them point, then can say I could call back, which we greatly appreciate, and we open we exercise that discretion today as well. So when the 3-minute come, the boss will go off. Now, after that 3-minute day, you only have 15 seconds for wrap up. But if you think 15 seconds is not enough, you can stop right there and say, I will call back. And the only reason for that, we try for extend courtesy to the other callers. As I always give example, if you are number 5 in line, then 3 minutes, it will take 12 minutes before it reach to you, the 5th caller. So if we allow people and go overboard, it may end up taking 20 minutes before it reach to you. So as a courtesy to people who may be holding and don't know what position they are in line, we just say, let all be considerate. And consideration is very important, because if we begin to think of each other's interest in this simple regard, we will begin to see how to think of the country's interest and the ordinary people's interests, because the idea are not the same. This is just a microcosm of thinking about the other guy. So we hope, and then, again, with all credit to we callers, people call, they are very respectful. You don't have to be oppositional or supporter of NGC. You don't have to be a supporter of NGC. You could be oppositional. In other words, you can be APC or SAPP supporter. That's fine. Just make sure you couch your questions or your comments or your statements in 2 respects. 1, be respectful to the guest and to the show. The other, don't get too argumentative, because it eats up unnecessary time, because what you want the points, cogent points to be made, because we all try to contribute ideas. And at the end of the day, or at the end of the show, I, as the host, would like to learn from Una what they call, because nobody has a monopoly on ideas. And we also want to learn from we guests, and we also hope we guests will take away some idea as to how the ordinary people like we feel. And I always say we the ordinary people, because we not aspire to national positions. Because for those of us who know saying that serious responsibility down it's heavy lifting. So you don't assume it unless you are prepared to stay the course. And if you're prepared to stay the course, there are hills and valleys. It's not always going to be a smooth ride. So there are a lot of things that will come with the territory. So we want let people understand that. So please, let me just quickly, before I turn it over to Mr. Suma, let me just quickly go over our routine practice of just letting people know the numbers available to them to be able to call in to make their own contribution. From North America, which is inclusive of Mexico, the United States, and Canada, please, you can call the toll-free line, which is 866-944-7722. From Canada, US, Mexico, 866-944-7722. If you're calling from the UK, there you can call from a local line from the United Kingdom, when +44 2080891455. +44 2080891455. If you're calling from Australia, likewise, it's +61 2909 84337. +61 2909 84337. And of course, if you're calling from any other part of the world, including then countries there are those names, or then locations there are, North America, UK, Australia, you can call on the WhatsApp line. These are all free. All then numbers there are those sites now free lines there, not to cost you anything. And you can call 1-343-997-5828. 1-343-997-5828. This is on the WhatsApp line. You can call from anywhere. Freetown, Kenema, anywhere, any country. And then among that also, we get a radio station in Freetown, which is 91.9 FM. 91.9 FM. If you're in the Freetown area, let's say you're driving, but you want to listen to it on the radio, you are quite welcome. Just tune in 91.9 FM. Also, we are carried on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So these are all areas to find we're broadcasting. And last but not least, for be able to get easy access and effective access to some of then we're broadcasting there. You also can download the Google app or the Apple app, go to the Apple Play Store or the Google Play Store and download the app and you will be able to get to it. So with that said, I would like to welcome our distinguished guest, Mr. Jesmed Suma, who is here today. And again, as I say, for one who may have missed the early part of me intro, we're there for answer some questions that we may have of him. So with that said, Mr. Suma, welcome. Thanks for coming back. So please, you can introduce yourself and then you can give an intro or we will ask you questions.
Yes. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning for the one that waiting in different parts of the world like Australia and China and that side and day. But to my fellow Sierra Leoneans, good evening, with a salon, and the rest of we within North America and continental Europe. I extend my sincere greetings to you all. Mina Jesmed Mami Suma. Mina the chairman and leader of the NGC party. Today we can talk about Salon in general and NGC in particular in terms of waiting NGC your own strategic plan for the country and how we the plan for fix the problems and way politicians of yesteryears don't create over 62 years and why we not for trust we as a party. In fact, the only option where we get right now, if you consider looking for something that you know is going to deliver for the people. Because the two other alternative them, we don't see what they're not able to do for over 62 years. So now have an opportunity for we all converge together. As Sierra Leoneans, we get love and care for our country, for now move the great republic to higher heights. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suma. So to start with, if you don't mind, I just want to ask you, which I could call a fundamental question. If you don't mind, for just tell me the current composition of NGC or the state of affair of the party, and are you going to be the acting head of the party indefinitely in an acting position, or do you people plan to have permanent positions? Just give me a brief talk on the composition of the party as it is now compared to as it was before UNA aligned with the SAPP.
Thank you. A very good question. The NGC party gets different levels of authority. The highest, now the National Delegates Conference, we comprise of representatives from every region. We have at least 4 representatives from every region, about 6 or 7 regions, by we own NGC geographical structure of the party. Western area and 2 regions with a divider into 2. So in addition to that one day, we get representative from every district. We are the chairperson, secretary general, women's leader and youth leader. 16 districts, multiply that by 4. 6 regions, multiply that by 4. And then you get the constituencies, 4 from each constituency. We are the chairperson, secretary general, women's leader and youth leader, and multiply that by 32 constituencies. Now 33, I think, 33 constituencies. So we are talking about a huge number of delegates. 133 times 4 16 times 4, 6 times 4. Then you get all founding members, when are active members, all former parliamentarians, all council chairpersons, and different types of different organs, including affiliate bodies. You have affiliate organizations, them where they be parts, where they send representatives in our delegate conference. So it's a huge number of people where they constitute with delegate conference. Now, under the delegate conference, you get the National Executive Committee, we comprise of representative of every region and representatives of the national officials. And now the regional representatives will comprise of the chairperson, the secretary general, women's leader, and youth leader. At the district level, it's just the chairperson and the secretary general, and they constitute the NEC. Now, the highest decision-making body at the National Delegate Conference. Next to it is the National Executive Committee, where they take up matters and we get constitutional mandate, but then be able to make decision on behalf of the National Delegate Conference. So the national officers, when are the body where they actually run the party, where they execute all the decisions of the delegates, all the decisions of the National Executive Committee. That committee there is headed by the chairperson. In this case, I am the current chairman and leader of the party. Now you go observe, say, and they describe me as acting chairman and leader. But under normal circumstances, in every other constitutions that we don't read, when you have the substantive chairperson of the organization, and then that substantive chairperson go on leave, or he go on vacation, or is sick, or he travel, the person when are in deputy, they act temporarily in an acting capacity. That is not the situation here. But when the person when are the substantive chairman don't go for good, like he don't resign from the party, the person when are in deputy, as long as that an elected position, now person when they elect, they not appoint them, now delegate them, elect them. When he didn't have that capacity there as chairman, he's not longer an acting chairman, he's a substantive chairman. That is how it operates in every constitution that I've read on political parties, in other organizations. Acting is when the position you're occupying is temporarily, so that when the substantive come, you can go. But substantive, when that position is vacant and you're occupying it as an elected officer. And in my case, I was elected as a deputy chairman and leader of the party. So when the substantive chairman resigns, I automatically become the substantive chairman, because he's not gone on a temporary leave. He's not necessarily coming back except the next delegate conference. So as it is now, I am the chairman and leader until the next delegate conference. But the mistake they made in our constitution, they still describe that role that you're playing when the chairman, when that position is vacant, as acting. So whether you call it acting or not, I'm going to be here until the next delegate conference. That's not going to change. The only thing that is going to remove me is when there is the delegate conference, and then the delegates come and decide whether they should elect or not. Now, that is why I continue to call myself acting chairman, even though I am not necessarily acting. I call myself acting chairman because that's the error in our constitution, which puts the deputy in an acting position when it is not really acting, as long as the vacancy is permanent.
All right. I hope I'm not interrupting you. I just want to deal with that distinction the way you make.
Yes.
Because sometimes, let me also announce to the audience, the lines are open. Please feel free to call, and we go appropriate time for some of the questions to be taken. But please feel free to call. The lines are open. Okay, again, by way of introduction, we have Mr. Jesmed Suma, head of NGC, who is with us today. So please feel free to call in and ask any questions or make any comments. All right, Mr. Suma, just for, again, listening to what you say, for me as a lawyer, what you just said, generally speaking, on a constitutional basis, in a country like here, the way you craft, because based upon what I listened to, you say technically you are the chairman, technically. So to avoid that technicality, because to get to you being the chairman, to be called the chairman, it looks like one has to be subject to certain interpretation for reach that conclusion. Why? And then make I just give example before I ask the question. We see how that creates a discrepancy with the Enescoromas and Sumana case. Okay? And in fact, to me, I think the heading of that case was a misnomer. It should have been Sam Sumana v. Enescoroma in his individual capacity and his official capacity as president. The naming of that case there, I think, is wrong. I don't know why they follow some kind of naming where Nigeria they called them case against the leader who also was toying with the third term or something of that type there. But to me, the case was pretty simple in the sense that it was Sam Sumana, the vice president, as a plaintiff. The case should have read Sam Sumana, vice president, or in his individual capacity as private citizen and in the capacity as vice president versus Anes Baikoroma. Exactly. In his individual capacity as well as the president of Sierra Leone. That's what it forbid. But that's it. But we don't for learn from that, from saying the question was whether, in fact, the president had the authority to sack an elected official, not someone he appointed to the position, someone who was elected. And again, for a lot of us, you don't have to be a lawyer to say that decision there was wrong by the Supreme Court back home, for whatever reason, with all with smarts. We land on the wrong side of that decision day, and for posterity, that will have to be corrected down the line. But but that should be a lesson to we all. So when I own constitution, if you don't make that quite clear, I think constitutions are made to be amended for prevent future arguments down the line. Like what you just say, in every constitution you've seen, they are written that same pattern. Well, one has to deviate from what you've seen because we do have examples of how that can create problem. And normally, a confucianist can go to court and ask that, in fact, the constitution be stricken, that portion of the constitution be stricken for vagueness. You see, because it's not clear. So I just suggest that. So that's a good start. Okay. That said, now you don't make it clear to we say substantively you are the chairman. Okay. And I will hope certainly you bring her up with the party for the good of the party, for clear that technical difference there to make it just quite explanatory that you or anyone else. And the other example I want to give in that situation there, and your definition of an acting is quite so succinct in the sense that I be take issue with President Bio, where he sacked the Chief Justice, or not sack him, he forced him into retirement. I say, well, no, into leave. In fact, not to retirement, let go on leave, mandatory leave. And then in that capacity, he appoints an acting Chief Justice. And I argue the point that was wrong. There should not have been an acting Chief Justice because based upon what you just explained to we, the man was on leave. So an acting should not have been appointed in a position. So, but again, them vagueness here will not steal the land from that, because we see where the president, on his own, whether he had the authority or not, and this is again where the bar association come into play. And you don't have to be an SFPP, APC, or NGC for the good of the country. When the government, and I keep reminding people, a constitution, not for the ordinary people, it's for the protection of them, not to for regulate them. The constitution primarily is to regulate the excesses of power of the authorities. So like with Australian constitution, now for let government get certain guidelines so they not for exceed, because it will violate individual freedom, individual rights. Individuals, their activities are controlled by statutory laws. For speed 35 miles an hour on the main road. For going to public theater and holler fire. These are not constitutional issues. These are statutory issues. So we'll get to be able to make them distinction, and they will not seem to make, because presently as it is, the constitution gets a lot of stuff that have no business being in a constitution. They should be just waiting and call act what we call statutory laws. So that said, I'm also pleading to the Bar Association to get away from this nonsensical act which take place recently, allowing people with political interest to inject themselves and dilute, infiltrate, and mess up the integrity of a professional association. It doesn't matter if you're SPP. First of all, I don't even see why you have to be a supporter of a political party to belong to the Bar Association. Now, professionalism will be talked about. So, and people begin to know we'll get for build institutions, not to for ruin them. Because when we ruin them...
Well, that touch on that side, on that judiciary side and the Bar Association, as far as I know, in the first place, the president's not going to write for force the Chief Justice on leave.
On leave, yes,
there are
correct.
Three major reasons. There are three major reasons why then they use the judiciary as a tool. One, because of the fact, say, we get greedy, self-centered people them, where they end up for be chief justices, where they to the constitutional responsibility, where then get then committed to serving the interests of the president we appoint them. And usually when the president they appoint, based on the experience we don't see, especially with Anes Kroma and Madabio, then they look for individual where they know say go dance to the tune where perhaps don't serve them before or protect their interest prior to even becoming president. Like what happened with the previous Chief Justice we just go. We mean they serve Madabio interest, they tell way they mean they fight the battle with Kande Yomukela and the other one them that the people in that one and they way been control the judiciary for shift the balance in the serving the interest, following the dictate of Anes Kroma, for serving the interest of Madabio, for eliminate Kande Yomukela and other threat that would have been the experience. And then there's Ali back in 2016, 2015, 2017, 2018. So obviously, Madabio reached that stage. Easy for them to look at somebody like that one they appointed as Chief Justice. But there are three fundamental problems we get with the entire judiciary. And I will share with you the kind way we me think so we need for change, and we are one of the ideas and then they are the project inside the NGC party. Three fundamental problems with judiciary. The first one is the appointment structure, the way members are appointed into serving in the Supreme Court, how the appointment is done. The second one is the fringe benefit and the salary scale and the remuneration process of how then they award them and accord them then salaries and stuff like that and benefits and stuff like that. The third one, now security. The security of our members of our judiciary, their life, their families and everything. All three of those are exclusively controlled by the executive branch. And when you have a system, when the executive branch, they controlling three fundamental aspects of a man's life. Obviously, I don't care whether an angel Gabriel from heaven come, you go force for be dance to the tune. Under a real democratic structure, you get a system where it be say the legislative branch, the judiciary, and the executive branch, now three equal branches of government. So in a situation where the executive branch want for overpower the judiciary, you get the legislative branch where they protect the judiciary. But that is not the case in Sierra Leone. The executive branch, in the name of the president, controls the legislatures, because of greed, controls the judiciary, where including greed and lack of protection, because the judiciary lack protection. So if the executive branch and they determine almost the judiciary they get a budget, and the executive branch and they determine the type of vehicle the judges then they get, the housing then they get, the security where they get at the house, all them things in the executive branch to get and they control now and day. Now, how you expect that judge, that magistrate, that Supreme Court chairman or judge, for letting go sit down, a challenge that executive branch on issues where they affect the political power structure of the country? It's almost impossible. So we don't put, because of the flaws now with constitution, we put the people where we expect on for handle with judiciary under the threat of the executive branch, at the mercy of the executive branch. So sometimes when we criticize the judiciary, we get for look back and put ourselves in their position and see how will we act. Me, Jesmed Suma, put me in that situation. Perhaps I resign, but my life will be at stake. So how do you fix that? How do you fix the funding side? How do you fix the security? How do you fix the issue about appointment? Well, in terms of appointment, let's start with that one day. My recommendation will be you get a committee where responsible for vet whatever recommendation the president they put to the House of Parliament. One, that committee then in the sit down, then able for nominate somebody to the president examine that person there before he send them to the House of Parliament. That committee they get for supposed for comprise of maybe people of the bar association, hence that's why they try for control the bar association, people of the media, like members of the opposition, maybe you get a representative from the opposition parties, they get representative from civil society, and then kind of get a composition of individuals and get specific criteria where they define, where you can't overrule in terms of the length of service. You look at the person in judicial history, you review all in cases that we don't administer over the years for determine whether that person they fit for be part of the Supreme Court. Then you recommend that to the president. Then the president send that to the House of Parliament. With the House of Parliament, the committee where they determine, they approve appointment from the president should be headed by a member of the opposition. If you allow, I say they are party in Ghana, because if you allow the party where get majority for head then committees then obviously every other appointment where president they send go a rubber stamp no vetting no go take place. But if you allow that committee to be headed by a member of the opposition, the head of the opposition, now that's how a lot of vetting will take place because the party will get majority already get majority vote. So the small leverage of the opposition get now for make sure say whoever they send, now person will then send and don't scrutinize. That now one aspect. Some of the changes then they will go require constitutional amendment. If need be, that be the case. The second one, the control of the purse string. Because as it is now, it is the finance minister that determines what goes into every department of government, every branch of government, exclusively. even if they request recommendation from the finance committee of the judiciary, it is still the finance ministry that has the final say as to what is presented to the House of Parliament. Well, my recommendation are as follows. Since we are talking about three branches of government, three equal branches of government, if you want to be equal, then you have to be able to give them the same level of leverage for them to be equal. Now, in the case of finances, I will recommend that the ministry, that the Chief Justice that heads the judiciary has a finance department that prepares a budget for the entire judiciary, determining how much they should be paid and so on and so forth, present that to the Minister of Finance and the parliamentary committee in Parliament. The Minister of Finance will not have no power to change those figures. They can make recommendation to Parliament that these are the recommendations we are making. This amount that the judiciary is demanding, we don't think we can afford it, and so on and so forth. According to the budget we've presented, this and this and this and these are the recommendations we make. So when that particular aspect based on their recommendation is injected into the annual budget, and that budget is presented to the House of Parliament, the House of Parliament will look at national budget, compare the aspect of that national budget that is recommended by the Minister of Finance with the one that is presented by the Chief Justice Finance Committee, finance team, in terms of what they want as their own budget. So let the House of Parliament have the exclusive right to determine whether they should reduce that budget or change it in any form to fit into national budget or not. But that power should not be exclusively in the hands of the executive branch. So in that case, over and above that, the Chief Justice is now going to be the one to determine the type of vehicles that the judges get, the remuneration, the fringe benefit, and so on and so forth. That's not going to be no more in the hands of the executive branch. The Chief Justice is the one that has that power. He should be able to determine that so that they run the judiciary as an equal branch of government. The third one is a security. If you are a judge, as a lawyer, understand where I'm coming from. You're a judge. You are administering over a case. The Minister of Interior, who is responsible for providing the driver that drives you in your car, the security that guides you in your car, the security that you left at home that is guiding your wife and children at home. If that Minister of Interior call your attention of his interest or her interest in a specific case, whether they bribe you or not, you have to think twice to challenge that, because your entire family's life is in his hands. How do you change that? Well, my recommendations are as follows. Whenever an issue comes up, by law, the police investigate, find reasons of being, whether there is a case to prosecute the matter, they prosecute the matter to court. Within the police system, that is controlled by the executive branch. The 3 days, which is the maximum number of days that the police should detain a citizen, that is under the control of the executive branch. The moment the matter is charged to court, it becomes a matter under the jurisdiction of the court. When the court decides as to whether to adjourn the matter without bail, that means the person has to be detained. As it is now, that detention process, even though the jurisdiction of that case has now come under the court, under the jurisdiction of the court, when they send the person for detention, that person is sent to the maximum prison like Pademba Road, is still controlled by the executive branch, which in my case should not be the case. We have a situation in Sierra Leone, a minister or the president will call, go arrest somebody. They lock them up in Pademba Road. They don't go through no court system. No judiciary knows anything about it. And that should never be the case. Nobody should have the power to just make a phone call, they arrest somebody and go lock them up without any due process of the law. So my recommendations are as follows. The entire prison department that provides security for cases that are already under the jurisdiction of the court should be under the control and the leadership of the Chief Justice. Completely weird. I know some people might think that to be weird, but that is the only way. And then the prison department will have a military wing or a wing that is trained to provide security, armed guards for all members of the judiciary under the control of the Chief Justice. He will be the one to appoint or recommend the appointment of who becomes the head of prison. So the head of prison will be answerable to the Chief Justice, because once he goes to prison, under the maximum prison, after he comes from the cell, which is the police section, that is the executive branch, but when he comes to prison, that is the judiciary branch, the Chief Justice should be the one person within his own jurisdiction to control everything that has to do with any case that comes under his jurisdiction, including granting bail when somebody is denied bail under detention. The president or the head of the interior minister should not have the power to just call the police, go arrest somebody, and go lock them up in Pademba Road. That Pademba Road, the entire prison department should be under the Chief Justice, and in his budgetary allocation, he should include the entire prison department under his budgetary control. So when you take off the control of the security that the executive branch has over the judiciary, you take off the control of the purse strong, that the purse strings that the executive branch have over the judiciary, then you're able to manage the appointment structure as to how those people are appointed into those positions. Then you will then begin to see a real shift of the way the judiciary is run to get the judiciary to be more independent. But as long as the executive controls their money, their livelihood, controls their security, and has control over the appointment, it will be difficult for you to have any change. So in that case, the president can easily just call the Chief Justice, say, "Bo, I want to let you resign, or I want to let you go leave." But if you go challenge that one day, where the security where they near you, na your body, na your house, na your domot, na him provide them. The one where they drive you, na him provide them. The one where they watch you, na your motorcar, na him provide them. Every aspect of his security control by that Monday. You go challenge them, you don't go challenge them. If you say go leave, you go say, "Pala, just go leave stuff for me. Life better pass. For that can't challenge you, just know something tomorrow the I don't die." But if the Chief Justice in get control of the entire prison department, then get control of their own security, then get control of their budgetary recommendations when they send to the House of Parliament. But that side, they will get small independence too. And that change will only happen if you have an NGC government where people like us have an influence to change the system.
All right.
The problem with the Constitution, during the drafting period, you get a man like Abulai Conte, where been as vice president at the time, he been the high in position for be president, able for influence a lot of the changes that would the flaws that would see in the Saloon Constitution today. So he cloud the Constitution in a way that the executive branch they get ultimate control, but he cloud in languages. For instance, the appointment of the ECSL, the Electoral Commissioner. He says in consultation with other political parties. Consultation has nothing, no legal binding. If he send like this, like Madabio say, if I send letter tell you say I don't appoint so person, a consultation that one day.
Yep.
If I call you for a meeting, I tell you say, I don't even need for calling meeting. A consultation that one day. And these are the kind of language Abulai Conte injected into our national constitution because he was hoping to be president so he can have that power to control the rest of the country. So that's why the constitution needs to be fixed. There are so many similar clauses, so many similar flaws within our national constitution that needs to be fixed because it was drafted by greedy people who were not thinking about tomorrow. They were thinking about now.
All right. Can you just hold off at that point? I get some callers, but let me just comment. Sometimes when we say some of them people be greedy, that may have been some of the factors were influenced in judgment. But I'm afraid it was not greed alone. The thing people don't seem to understand, you referenced Dr. Abdullahi Conte. I dare to reference Dr. Abbas Bundu.
Mm-hmm.
The problem we get in Sierra Leone, we intellectuals not get the courage for say, I don't know. Abdullahi Conte, Abbas Bundu, neither one of them have been constitutional expert. That's just plain and simple. Yep. So we don't even know whether just greed alone may have been the influencing factor. Or whether Dr. Abdullahi Conte just didn't know anything about constitutional law, period. Just because he had a PhD didn't make him an expert in constitutional law. I mean, let's lay that on the table. And these are facts we get for begin for accept. I do not know the man as having been a constitutional lawyer. He was very bright, highly accomplished, but he not stay within his lane in law. He tried to be an expert on everything, which he was not. So we see the consequences. We'll begin for posture in areas, just like me. I know a little bit about constitutional law. I will never refer to myself as a constitutional law expert. If you call me now for draft a constitution for Sierra Leone, I will say, you know what? I know people that we know 10 times, 1,000 times past me. I should have that courage. It not in any way diminish my level of education. Because I pass a board, I pass a bar. Okay, so these are some of the things. So I agree with you to an extent, but God alone knows waiting at the influencing factors with respect to them people are the old and craftful constitution or the suffer from today. But let me not get too much long-winded because we get some callers. Let me just switch to the callers there because I get a lot of expansive opinion I can render, but it's not for me. Mostly the show is for you today, for listening to you. So, hello, caller. Please tell who's side you call from, and if you wish, state your name.
Yes, sir. Good evening. This is Fodi Mustafa from Leicester.
Welcome, Mr. Mustafa. Thanks for hearing from you again.
First of all, I would like to tell, thank you for bringing this matter to we, because I don't see they go around the country, but until now we day. So. You go find for where you come, like I hear from we, because first of all, me I go on register me profound disappointment where them people have give we and the nation in general. I remember 2018 election, my brother was a militant for the NGC. He got for run away from the EPC heartland because he was identified clearly because that. He was an NGC militant, everywhere. But we say when I left when I go, I can't understand how anybody with a normal thinking, they go make an alliance with Marabio. He get a record, like Mr. Shillon always say. The record is there, that has a field record. He don't need 5 years in power, living standard deteriorate, he don't destroy the economy. He don't do all the things. Instead of concentrate on governance, they can't prosecute in opponents them. And now, what you want to say, because this reason, because I've been one talk last week about this, I don't know the way they talk about this, say, why would not go into alliance? Now, because when the fear say, where APC take power, persecution good day. No, that's not the reason. That's emotional reason. Because when Madabio take over power, if you remember Babadi, where they give that timber contract, where they do that stadium Nabo, now he lead the militant wing for go and harass APC people. This is self-created. We not get for look for governance in things where somebody create. And in Africa or the third world in general, these are normal things where they change government. So I know by that reason this say una don't can kill people and hope, kill people and dream for job because under SLPP and APC, Salon no go ever go before.
Exactly, that is true.
That one is clear because we see the whole power now for just appoint them people for party business, money not there for run the country. It's evident that person day after 5 years we don't damage the economy. Now when I go marshal back behind, can they look out all in education and experience where we put we hope on them. Go to my behind my view. Me, I don't know how disappointed I am because I not talk about the whole nation. I wanna kill the dream because the today we just get back election. The party will be the biggest today. It will start, it will be less than 2%, 3%. The health stand, they did it. So they one time they get 33% of the votes because they on opposition for more than 25 years. And now they be the decision makers in the country. But if we not can they say where people and just give the hope just after one election, when I say no, we give up this, we go make an alliance. Anyway, my time don't know for now. I will come back later. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank
Foley.
you. Thank you. I will
Mustafa.
respond to you.
We appreciate that. Mr. Jesmed, make a note of it. Let me take one more call. Call, please.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Please tell we who side you call from, and if you wish, tell we your name.
Hello, Mr. Shilauna. Good evening again. It's now Omar.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Omar. Nice hearing from you again.
Yes, sir. Okay. Anyway, I tell Mr. Jesmed, thank you for where you don't come. But I don't know if Mr. Jesmed noticed something. If you notice, say, majority of Sierra Leoneans will vote for them. No, they speak English, now Creole, they speak and understand. You know, with all in bright ideas. I don't know if Mr. Jesmed will talk to Sierra Leoneans in Creole. Let it calm down right. To be talk to Sierra Leoneans in Creole, they don't understand. I don't know if you notice Sierra Leonean voters in a Creole that they talk. So I come again to the organs. It talks something, but the three organs. But to me, what you understand, say they're not ever equal. Because if you the cow food, you the set fire, then the other one the cow kerosene. Everybody get different responsibility. Not say not equal. But let me come again to in policies the way you talk. The NGC political party, if not be honest political party, the policies that we do with and we then did up to today, both individually or the party as a whole. Then get bright policies the way in na paper a define na paper a fine for talk, and I can really admire them because most of the time they can really study before they talk to the people. You know, so you go really see like where they cram something to the nation. But what thing are they ask? Then take 5 years, and this not be active opposition, no, not to the type of opposition we get now. 5 years, Sierra Leoneans give them opportunity for going to parliament. 5 years. I want Mr. Jesmed pick point for me. How many of these policies would they influence or would they even attempt? Because most of them, I'll tell you something. If we wait for the executive for change things, you know they change. The parliamentarians then get chance for change things and then get the power. But the willingness on the part of the parliamentarians for also gear towards that. But the NGC, the C4C, and the SFPP, the opposition is old. Let each one or any one of the opposition tell me which type of policy and try for influence. We're not to passional or we're not to out of greed. If you not camper or drop, then go talk about transportation. You know, not talk about transportation, go talk about how they exempt for pay party tax. Let me tell you one of the policies them as a political party who they influence the parliament, that time we Sierra Leoneans they give them opportunity. You know, I go call back, but I really want let it tell me that I let talk to you not to all understand. Some of you will not even sit back. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
this guy.
Mr. Omar.
I like that guy. He's a plain shooter.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Suma.
It make very good points, but let's start with the first one first. We talk about the alliance, because I really don't want to delve too much into the alliance. the man is right. He gets every reason for be angry about the kind way we disappoint the people. But I just want to let you know, say, the NGC today and the NGC now are two different things, in the sense that we get a new captain. We get a new captain, we get a different approach. We get a new captain, we get a history. We don't consistent for the one that we don't follow me. And also that person, consistent on the issues them right through to this moment. Yes, we made a big mistake for aligning ourselves with somebody where we know say, get no history of delivering results, both from the army and outside the army. Run Salone as a junta leader, commodity with $18 million, a comeback poll. You see some situation like that one day, you go get a country for go on. In your own personal money, you never run them. Let make money. You go get one whole country money for go run. If you say you expect much from that one day, then you are a fool. And that is exactly how we presented ourselves. We made ourselves fools. But it was done not without being influenced. When you trust people, like you, Mr. Shillon, if I don't trust you, I don't believe you. Plenty thing the way you go tell me, I go just believe automatically, and I will get for going to too much, whatever. So that's not the situation where some of we find ourselves. And as I've been on say initially, 2 reasons. I think say in my own personal influence, it been centered around 2 reasons. Why I say, me don't see say this man don't feel wanted, don't feel two time. I say under normal circumstances, I don't feel say this guy go on for feel 3 time. Under normal circumstances, if this guy don't say, but una can't help me, until now una been they criticize me in a parliament, and they criticize me so time. Well, this trip at the forming next government, una can't help me, Lord we fix the country. Then thing they won't have been the talk. Una can't take up charge now, let una help me, Lord fix them. That I trusted and thought it was a genuine intent to form a transition or a transformational government we comprise of the best talent na SLPP, the best talent na NGC, and the best talent na APC, so that we'll move the country forward. Especially when that election day, towards the election, it was very chaotic. Some people say, they get a system where the man will act as a statesman above everything. You say APC, NGC, SLPP, we all come together, we should run one table, all run this country. So within these next 5 years, for create a legacy for we people. The second reason, now because I'm in a fear. So man can take say, for possible. No. Wait till I don't see prior to the election was enough for tell me say, if Dan and they can do that one, they will not get power. Then can do that one, they will not get power. If you give them power within that 48 hours, whether I would like it or not, lives them for loss. And I wouldn't want to be part of anything, be it politics or not, or in any country where lives will be lost on account of vengeance in politics. So then 2 factors that I influence with. But at the extent an apology one more time, my friend, please, let me move the country forward. Join the NGC party. As she said, don't say, no way Salone will ever prosper under APC or under SLPP. There is no way. Because 62 years, we don't see no difference. There is no way anybody with in right mind will think, say, that country they go better under than 2 party than they. Because not only the individual no more, the system what they don't create within the party, now they produce the bad leader. If you bring Angel Gabriel from heaven, they say like can fix Salone, you say for pass through SLPP, by the time they turn leader, they don't corrupt them. If you say like pass through APC, by the time they reach top, we don't corrupt them because the system with structure, with them party and they, you get for be endemically corrupt for like we will attain the leadership of the parties. So NGC now we only hope now we don't get a new captain, we try for reform we serve so that we all go join hand and move this country forward. to the second person in your own point of view, he asked a very salient question. He said, but una been in a parliament. And una got all this brilliant idea. What una been in a parliament? What's in the show me example, but who still una push them kind idea then from C4CO to NGCO, who be in the opposition? What then una push them ideas then for change the country, including SL people in the opposition that end. Now una come back to governance where SLPP they control the show. But una not able for change nothing. Now una go able for change something. It's a very salient question. Well, as I say, the same thing where we make with party been there that can way they. Now that same system they been the control, been the influence with party in position at parliament. We not gonna get any more. The new leadership we don't get. We're not going to encourage anymore anybody who can represent you in a parliament. It will be a rubber stamp. Now, one time, no, we go serve for. As long as people like we did at the NGC party, the party in your own position, now we will go for use for pushing a parliament. Because the arguments some army they make, but we'll not even get the vote. We'll not care about vote. We care for making the point that this is our party's position. This is our party's position. How to create, example, insurance consumers, consumer insurance protection bill. How to create a farm subsidy bill. How to create certain reforms them. Way for able for transform with workforce. Just put that across. Let the vote not there. But then go no say the NGC, this is their position. So the only two things the way NGC do, we pass na parliament, even now one day we afraid for take credit for them. That are the kind of leadership we'll be there. Afraid for take credit. The 30% who they about about women. 30% but women. Across the country, all political parties and executive corp, they all get forget a minimum of 30% women. Parliament, 30% women. Executive, 30% women. If you see Mother Bill, I point more women than today. Now because of that 30% today. Would have pushed down in a Dr. Kande Koloyi Mukela. Now him pushed down in the House of Parliament. But he pushed him, they're afraid for take credit. Mother Bill run away with him. So today now, nobody not even knows in NGC, now him push that agenda day. The second one, and the diaspora vote. The diaspora vote, he present a bill, he sent on a parliament. But, you know, if they act behind the scene, then you don't want to be a real politician. A politician will push until you get for act in the front of the scene. You get for be the one championing and moving the scene stuff. But instead, we reach a situation where in the diaspora, you get chicken-hearted people there also, where you project yourself too much and say, why make like say it's a be all thing. But if we not see the force in the parliament itself, the drive will not call press conference, push the tea issue, talk about an parliament, call press conferences for CC that is energy, then we expect energy from outside parliament. The energy inside parliament and they attract energy from outside for push whatever agenda you want for put. So as I say again, the NGC we have today is different from the NGC we had yesterday. This NGC, if we will not trust we would not vote, we go inside the House of Parliament, we will change the face of politics in Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Suma. I don't know if we should take one more call before I say one or two things. So let me take some calls because I really want to get as much participation as we possibly can. So hello caller, what you know your name? No, sorry. Who's are you to call from? And if you wish, you can give me your name.
My name is Williams, concerned citizen in Baltimore.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm glad you for see this man at this show today, Mr. Suma. I'm glad you for see him. And And I want to ask some questions. Mr. Suma, I know I'm personally we on some business now. Hello?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead. Go
We
ahead.
hear you.
But yes. So we
Maybe to run some business now.
but you give me something on the other side. Hello?
Yeah, cut your equipment down. I mean, cut the volume down.
I don't cut the volume down, but still. Hello?
Yeah,
we
we
hear you
hear you
clear.
clearly.
We hear
No
you
echo.
clear.
No echo. No echo.
Yes. So Mr. Suma, I know very well. We will do some business now about India. So and I want to ask some questions. And also I want to ask some questions.
Don't forget, say you get 3 minutes. Don't forget, say you get 3 minutes or so. Please move.
We come. We may get NGC a good momentum. But now it can disappoint me in a way that if they can't preach themselves now, we're not going to believe them. We're not going to believe them at all. We're not going to believe them. So, Mr. Suma, all these ideas, the way they bring country, why don't we try for Fossa? We allow one great man who can destabilize on a party. One great man. Bro, to me, what did you talk so on a brilliant ideas? To me, you never convince me. You never convince me at all. Will I go back to NGC? No way. I don't done with NGC. Because NGC disappoint me badly. Badly.
Let me ask you one question.
Yes.
Let me ask you one question.
No, Mr. Suma, hold tight. Let it exhaust in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Please.
no, but okay, let's go ahead.
And then I want to ask Mr. Suma, it in records. When I just to go, I see we immediately yourself make speech. But be to money when they go join SLPP.
Mm-hmm.
They can't talk to me now. Say for they will forgive them, they will join them. But me to me now, I'm not to join NGC again. No more. Don't whip me hand, whip me foot. Because what they talk so I don't believe that. I don't believe in today, I don't believe in tomorrow. When I allow one great man for can destabilize on us all. You know convince me. No way. No.
All right, sir. Thank you. If you get any more for say, call back. With the traffic stick to the 3 minute rule. So let Mr. Suma answer this. Then please call back.
My friend, I can understand your level of reservation, your level of anger. But the fact remains, if you look for disappointment, there is no disappointment where NGC go down do, we compare to 62 years of failures of leadership na APC. So an officer go to APC. If you look at disappointment, I don't see no level of disappointment where NGC don't do, we compare to the massive failure of leadership where SLPP don't present over 62 years. For 62 years, they don't ravage we country down to the kind of a state of decadence where it is so, where poverty na the order of the day. In fact, statistically, we get over 25%. This is now World Bank records that they tell you so. Statistically, we get over 25% of the population we abjectly poor. When I say abject poverty means they can't afford a basic $2.15 a day. We are 50,000 leons a day. There are no people and they way over 25% of the population no able to afford that. That now when you take just the monetary aspect of poverty, but when you take the new dimension, what they call multi-dimensional poverty indicators, the MPI. If you use that one day, 67% of the population, this is a World Bank record, 67% of the population are poor. That's salon today. Hey, bo, we don't make mistake. I agree with that. Nobody know they make mistake. They fix that mistake now by changing with leadership and changing with style and the way they run the party. Do ya give it chance and let you see what's in the happen. If you not use we as the option, then that means you will just withdraw from Salon Affairs, because I not see you as somebody who will go to APC. I not see you like somebody who go to SLPP after 62 years. We, now this 1 year no more, where we make that mistake compared to 62 years. So do you give it chance, let you give it the opportunity for let we demonstrate and recover, we are able for earn your trust again. Now that number I will tell you, my brother, the poverty level in our country is just increasing. It's getting worse. 67% of our population. Our population about almost 7 to 8 million. Now you imagine now one day over 4 million people and they were poor in that country there. So we can't say in the hands off, bruh. You go for come back, you say this is not the problem where NGC gets, well, they can't inside there for fix that problem there. You come inside there, we all fix them together. Do your part. Thank you.
All right. Caller, please state who side you the call from, and if you wish, tell me your name. Please stick with the 3 minutes time limit, because we'll get a lot of callers on the line. Go ahead.
100%, Mr. Sheldon and Mr. Suma. Una, thank you very much, and to Una too. Really appreciate Una for do this again since the last time. Mr. Suma, this speaks volume of you, because you promised the promise what you make to us last week, say you to come back. I thank you very, very much for proving that to me. And to me, that's already a big step. And what the other type of say, Mr. Suma, I got tons of questions for you. And if you don't mind, I don't care for politics. But I listened to you last week, and I listened to you last week, and because of that, I've done a lot of research about you and what you stand for. And I don't involve in politics for 32 years, but I'm not ever involved with any political campaign in my life, or political party, I should say, in my life.
Yes.
But you, so far, what you don't talk last week and this week, my brother, you don't give me hope. So hence my questions for you. I appreciate you very, very much. I appreciate the plans that you don't put forward. So let me go back to last week. The first questions I get, Mr. Suma, with right now the NGC, as you can see from some of the color where they come in, there's a trust issue now with this party. Number one,
big trust issue.
Well, how you feel say we're going to be able to change this, number one? And number two, Mr. Suma, have you, I don't think about maybe to collaborate with all the other small parties then, to align as one for 2028? If you don't think about that, number two.
Good question.
Number
three.
Number three, with adding with this question, you talk about the solar panel the last time, which I really appreciate your details and the funding mechanism you talk about. I will want you expand more into this. What you will do with the waste of this solar panel? And the second part of this is you talk about it will cost $250 million. Inside this funding go come out, because I have an idea with the diaspora, using the diaspora to fund this. There's different kind of mechanism you can work and economic policy with the diaspora. But that is something I would like to go with you more into details about that. And my bigger broad points now, what I want to ask you, sir, I want to bring this to the international relation aspect of it. Today, we see the United States have been kicked out of the Sahel region. They are looking for base. Currently, we know Nigeria, Senegal, and and Ghana have rejected it. Me, I truly believe on that radar that they try to talk to Salon and Guinea and Liberia for a base. We know that Russia was in Guinea a couple days ago. So what do you think about the new international system? What's in the go on right now where all these big powers are job for power in Africa? And since we are very, very strategic, our port is very, very strategic. You understand?
All right, sir. Can you hold it there? Can you hold it there? If you get any more, they'll give Mr. Suma time because there are other callers. So please, Mr. Suma, answer that. Yes. So we'll move on to another caller, sir. We'll get quite a bit of callers.
Mr. Shelby, just one last thing. Mr. Suma, please, can you put a website or telephone number how we can get in touch with you? We really believe in you, and we think your leadership is really, really needed at this critical junction that we land. Thank you.
Sorry, I not get that part. Go ahead again. Sorry.
They want to let you put your particulars, phone number, hold on. Text.
You say
any information how to reach you.
You don't, the person don't go?
Yes. But I'm sure he will call back.
Okay. He say he wants waiting.
He wants your phone numbers. He wants phone number. He wants an email. Any way they can be able to reach you, I guess directly or indirectly for get some side communication with you.
Yes. I get two numbers. The salon number is +232, as you already know, 75 9090. So easy, 75759090. Now the number that one day, the salon side. The US or anywhere, or 2 day now WhatsApp. Now +1, that's not the US code, 908 759 4332. 908 759 4332. Now, the man talk like man way he really understand the geopolitics of Salone. He talk like man way they follow Salone political affairs. I'm glad the way he touched on that issue about getting the diaspora involved in funding the energy project na Salone. That guy is smart. Remember last week, the last meeting we get, the last interview we get, I mentioned, but the Ethiopia example, right?
Correct.
Exactly. We create what we call the energy bond, the diaspora energy bond, where somebody at the diaspora go buy into that energy bond, where go serve two fundamental purposes. The bond way they buy, it help for build the energy infrastructure of in country, then it get profit out of them because the bond will pay interest on the bond. Usually a bond they take like them 5, 10 years, 20 years, but every year, every month, it make interest, but I'm interested in they pay them annually. So if you don't take a diaspora bond of $5,000 or $10,000, imagine if you get like 100 diasporans, each they pay $10,000, they buy the bond where they get interest on. That is an average of $1 million. $1 million. Way more than the $250,000 who they pledge for buying to the company. In fact, in situation like that, sometimes we end up for buy the investors then out completely. within a short period of time. So indeed, yes, diaspora bond is one aspect we are considering to fund it. The second one, as I mentioned the last time, raining down on fraud, waste, and abuse. And they waste a lot of government money and government property in their country. Contract 5-10%. Something way for cost like Wilkinson Road I can use as example. Way for cost $4.5 million for Builder Road Day. They inflate them to $19 million according to the books. That now, if we get an NGC government, the controller kind system, that now almost $15 million now we don't save so. Something way for be $4.5 million. Then a Skroma government and $19 million and put in a record. So then kind thing and they happen now. Every project, what all them government here they do, including this SLPP government. Only God knows the millions of dollars where them put in airport financing day, with that debt then at the back of the people right now. God only knows the amount of millions of dollars where them put on top of the actual cost of building some of the bridges so they don't build in the country. Under NGC government, with a raining on fraud, waste, and abuse. And according to Mune statistics, an average of $90 to $100 million is wasted out of the system where the people only get out of them through fraud, waste, and abuse. The other side again, if they see, say them petrol, let's make petrol dear. Where the petrol come, they import the petroleum. A large quantity of that petroleum in a government they go to for free. Then give judges this, minister that, deputy minister this, parliamentarian this and that, prison officer, this, everybody they get cheap. Who that they pay for in a government? That is going to be saving an average of $1 million to $2 million every month. Minimum. Wherein they waste government resources. The third one, the ministries and the embassies that will get around the world. Imagine one embassy staff, it cost the government an average of $6,000 to $7,000. One embassy staff. $6,000 to $7,000. Like the ambassador, now would they take care of not only the vehicle, now would they take care of the driver, now would they take care of your accommodation, insurance, everything. He traveled from Washington to New York with the pay and per diem. All them cost and they is on the backs of our people. And when they take power, then they load the embassy, then they with their own party agents that we don't know support them during the election. They use the government as an employment agency for the party members. NGC party will rain down on the one and they will reduce the embassy staff to just the essential staff that we're going to run the embassy effectively so that we'll save millions of dollars. We will take care of the lives of our people on the ground. There are so many ways to save money from within. We're going to make able for finance the TSO, including this diaspora bond we both mentioned. Smart guy, I like that point there. The other thing we raise concern on. If you can help me remember that. I don't
recall. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't too that my thing saying that.
But Sunday you go call back. You go. I hope he's listening.
Yeah. But now let's talk about the issue of poverty. Whilst we wait for more callers.
Well, no, we'll get plenty of callers.
Okay, let the callers come in then.
Let's take one more. Hello, caller. Please tell us how you call from. And if you want, you can tell who your name.
Okay. Yes, sir. Nami again, Afudi Mustafa from Leicester.
All right.
Yeah, I know people don't be taught this now because of the 3 minutes. But like I did say, the ideas they're very very splendid. But me, I go on for make we take a moment first for me. We think of whenever you will get an opportunity for. I mean, I will get the opportunity if I want to say because you look at the track record of a third force in Sierra Leone. Why me I'm not gonna be optimistic again. We see you don't I mean you don't out that spark. I think it could be a very monumental thing for me. Raise them up again, may you ignite them. Because the PDP, we then joined the SLPP, 9 SLPP killed the PDP in the process. And the SLPP, the APC and the PMDC, they make also another alliance. Now back then kill they kill the PMDC in the alliance. So I just to give this perspective, make you the things, make you know why some of us will not be easy for us to get optimism again. Because that spark we've been done day where that frame particularly had the NGC with the operate under Dennis Bright for the update people about prices, hardship, about economy, about human rights, about everything. That was a perfect moment for make the NGC for them hold the stand for go through that way. But we see you don't hot that spark for me unite again, it could be a very, very difficult task. But since you life, they say we life day, hope day, so long we left from day. The idea now when we go one key, always had to talk on this platform. The ala we did the governance that's alone, particularly with the fear we talk about violence about after election. Now because of the system of governance, we say then they take power, then give one man. Only white people will give you democracy. None of them no get a place where they don't respect the language where people only talk. Now then they take them factor their democracy into it. So for instance, now Belgium Musa be they people they talk two languages predominantly, not three languages then they. Which they then do,
French.
then give regional governments. Then give powers to the regional government. So therefore, nobody no care about the central government or much. The people they not care much about central governance. Like today,
Good
so we
point,
don't make
also.
election them. I bet you in the next 2 weeks, the regional government they could be formed, but the federal government will take maybe 1 year, 2 years. They not get government, but the country they run because they are strong and hugely financed regional governments. So I go one for let you think about this idea whilst you did on this political, journey. See, the ala this question go they get inside government now because we dey take election now like ethnicity. Because let me just end that here. No matter how hardship dey at the south today soon, then put box back today, people are going to vote for SLPP because they are not thinking about issues. SLPP they identify themselves with SLPP, their language, their culture, their region. So, but this is not democracy. So now we can talk and say, no, we think of an idea where they dismantle the central government so that the tension then go lessen. I will end here because of time. Thank you very much for coming
Thank
entertain
you,
us. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Shillon.
Right? Yes, sir.
I don't want to lose my train of thoughts because this guy touched
Okay.
on two important areas
Go ahead.
where I
Go
need to
ahead.
address.
Go ahead.
Very important areas. The first one, therefore, do with the failures of third parties, the reason why third parties then fail. And now part of them example and they inform me personally where I they try for guide against so the NGC where me the lead right now go be championed and steered in a way where you're not going to fall victim of them problem and problem number one. The people that will form the third parties, now people that will have been part and parcel of the corrupt establishment and the old parties them. So they were part and parcel of the corrupt establishment. Now it don't dawn on me. Say, I don't care how many degree you get. I don't care how many experience you get. I don't care how sabi talk you sabi talk. If you be non the part of APC and SLPP, wallahi billahi, there is no way you go lead any third first way claim. I was in denial, but now, at the practical example we go through right now, I am convinced that anybody we don't dey between inside APC and SLPP in the past, you form a third party, you will never succeed because you are always going to go back into the same culture, into the same practices where you don't be part and parcel of your blood inside APC and SLPP. The second reason, now because the parties them where them form, they're not able to present any ideological difference between them and the APs and SLPP parties them. Just like our APs and SLPP not get any ideological difference. The only difference between the parties are the color, the name, and the ethnic composition of the parties them. But in terms of ideological difference, say when we get an SLPP party, now this type of leadership would expect for run we economy. Now so we economy go run. No, there is no difference between APs and SLPP. So similarly, all the third party that we then come, including NGC, we're not able to present any ideological difference. Let people know say this is where NGC stand. If we wake somebody where not even they now party, you wake them up, you ask them, what if you say NGC go do pan this? You go able to tell you. We're not able to do that difference day. Just like how they so you get the Conservative Party, you get the Labour Party in England. They wake me up and sleep. They ask anybody we know the England self. If you understand any two party in the operate, you say, what if you say the Conservative Party go do in a situation like this? You go able to talk and straight because you know the differences. No, so similarly in America. So what me they try for do now for make sure say we present NGC for be a comprehensive, progressive, liberal political party. We get progressive ideas and push the agenda where they lead we into a central left political party. Now, what in they mean? We are a party where not believe in too many handouts, but we also believe in investing in the social safety net so that it will be able for enable people them for get the opportunity for tap into their creative mind for rise and build themselves and build a nation. For instance, we believe in investing in education so that the cost of education will be so affordable that even whether you poor or you rich, you go to get access to education. And when I talk about poverty earlier, under multidimensional poverty, now access to specific essential amenities of life or lack thereof. Now the aspect of multidimensional poverty, now they determine instead of then link them only to the monetary aspect of poverty, when are the first type of measurement the World Bank when they use. But now then they back them up with multidimensional. The monetary poverty, now when they say if nobody will afford $2.50 a day, then you are poor. But now you go reach a point if you get a country where you get real investment in the social services of the nation. Let's say if you not get money, if you're able for carry you picking go school, where you know they cost you too much, then your poverty you don't waste, you don't hold small. If you're able for go to hospital, where you know say you get public funded healthcare system, when I collective funding, like how we they plan for do, we get plan for all that one day. If we delve into healthcare as a system, as a social service, I go able to explain to you in detail how NGC is able to address based on my own point of view, because I not push them it to the party. Just like you be take the introduction, I make I listen to you. The leader of any institution, now in they help drive the vision of that institution there. Now your own vision, if you're able to inject into the institution, now you're able to reflect on the institution itself. So in each of them socio-economic problem now, me over the years, I don't take them, study them, read about them, and put together a policy position where I hope for injecting the NGC party who will be able for winning. So there is not a single socio-economic problem at Salon today where somebody go ask me, one go give you answer in terms of waiting me fit to say and go solve one. I'm not saying that my answer will be the best, but wallahi billahi, I can guarantee you say my answer, you go better pass what APs and SLPP don't do within 62 years. So under that kind of a system there, where they invest in the social services so that you go reduce, the best way for reduce poverty, now when you create a system, not an individual system, where if you know themselves, you're able to run on your own, a system where they save the people their money, where they make them, they not spend too much money. Like for Komo Kaila Unkam, you see that poor man they come, Komo Kaila Unkam. then a rich man come out can. The poor man go spend a large proportion of income for pay that transportation they come. Money man, not a big deal. Now small money based on the money we get. So the level in field no, the playing field no level. But if you get a government where they invest in public service, in public transportation network like train service for Komo Kaila Unkan, so that person they pay in $3, $5, when at 200 and maybe 100,000 leons or so, he pay that one day, or 200,000 leons, he pay that one day. He go save him that 350,000 leons where he's supposed to don't pay on transportation, and he will reach Kalaun from Kalaun to Freetown quickly. So investing in them and they help for reduce poverty, and some of all them and the NGC don't win them. The second one we talk about now the issue about decentralization. Now I'll tell you about waiting a my own game plan about decentralization. The decentralization, they take them into two different structures. The power structure and the financing structure. Because there is no point for give governors, for give region power when they not get the finances for run themselves. And the way the system is right now, all the revenue from the taxes only they collect from the mining sector, the other side, all things they go to the central government. And when you go to the central government, the minister and get plenty money for play with. What you go do now for thief plenty? So my own recommendation are as follows. You decentralize the government such that 15% of all taxes the central government they collect from the regions, for instance, at the mining sector, 15% of that tax day, it is then at the chiefdom, what's that mining they occur. 15% they then at the district, what's that the mining they occur. 15% they then at the region, what's that the mining they occur. So what thing they mean? 45% of everything where central government they collect, it is still at that region they also collect them from. So if government take $1 million worth of revenue from Kono district, $450,000 is still at the entire region, the entire eastern region. And the same applies in every region across the country. When it comes to the funding of education, the central government, the Ministry of Education, will take care of all capital investment. Recurring investment will be funded by the local government. How do they fund them? All property taxes, 50% of the property taxes when they collect na Kenima district, Bo district, Cambia district, all inside and they, by law, go to stay straight na that particular district they, for fund education. 15%. Inside Western area, the estimate we don't make. You get an average of about $11 to $12 million. If you really structure the taxation system alone, now Western area alone, for the year, for them big property that we get in that country, then none no they pay better taxes. Imagine that kind of money the Western area government, the local city government, they get that kind of for run the school affairs in the Western area. Imagine inside Western area, all them tax when they collect at the beach, 15% of that they stay with the city council. Imagine all that custom duty they collect from the port, 15% they stay for run the Western area. So when you empower local government, you empower them for able access to the resources. In addition to that one day, we decentralize the government such that the regions then get regional governors. So you go get one regional governor for Western area, regional governor for the East, South, and North. Now they don't divide it into two, including Northwest. Then governor then did the national budget. Now a combination of all the budgetary recommendation within region and they submit to the central government. Now it incorporate into the national government budget. Where in addition to the thing that the national government they provide, when a security, the military and other things that the central government is finance, all landed included into the budget, in addition to the budget that they come up from the regions. Now with the regions, since we don't talk, say we decentralize the funding, where certain percentage of revenue they collect in a region and they go back to them. Now from that budget day, they look now say, hey, this year we collect $100 million worth of taxes from the Marampa mines where they come out na Potloko district. And according to the law, 45% of waiting we they collect, they stay in that region day. 15% for the chiefdom, 15% for the district, 15% for the regional governor. So that not Northwest day. Then they get $450,000 out of that out of that $1 million way government don't collect. $450,000. If na $100 million, $450,000 where government don't collect for that particular region day. So that 45% they. So a way to look now at the budget. Let's say Potloko don't present a budget, or that region they don't present a budget when are like 100 million. That budget we already don't allocate to them $450,000. So the supplementary within the central government they allocate now the difference where they need for support that particular region day. So let's say you go to the eastern province, you get Kenima, Kono, when at diamond ferrous areas then they produce more. Say them budget na $100 million. That $100 million day, we know say we don't collect an average of 100 million from them, or maybe we don't collect whatever amount we don't collect from them, 45%. So that 100 million day, 450 million already automatically don't belong to them because of what we don't collect over the years. So then they already allocate to the one day them. Now, if their own budget, don't already get them, give them right down, then they go allocate to them. The difference in the supplementary. So you go find out, say, district, then when like Cambia district who not get enough revenue for support them financing of their services. Now the government go able for inject more money as compared to other regions that we get mining sectors and who already don't get a heavy allocation and they from the resources of government they collect from them. So when you decentralize the power, you decentralize the way name. So you realize now, so the delivery of services now go be in the hands of the governors. Then you go see now where Eastern Province, they compete with Southern Province for sharing they develop themselves. Southern Province to compete with the Northwest, how do they develop themselves? Because of that, you go see now say, then side them, way more developed, now they attract more population. So they begin compete now among themselves how for develop their respective region. The power way centralized, where center, now the central government, where they dictate, they determine how much money they go, that's so side. You don't bring them down by law, that money then how they go to the regions. So decentralization is a fundamental requirement where we need for focus on for empower local government. If that kind of policy they been there, based on the kind of money they will not extract from places like Kenima and Kono over since 1933 to now, like billions of dollars, and then this thing for don't get right up. Waste on that poverty when they on so not for that poverty day.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Suma. Let me see if I can take some more calls. Hello, caller. Please tell who's side to call from, and if you wish, give me your name. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello? Is it me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Good day, Mr. Shilon and Mr. Suma. This is Abdullah is here, the call from New Jersey, US.
Thank you for calling, sir.
Thank you very much. And thanks for the opportunity. I don't listen. I'm not joining the program early, but I don't listen Mr. Suma go through a lot of things them way. I really get, I'm not going to say, I define hard time to even comprehend the reality of the one day, especially where the things, how many people will really understand the high caliber of analysis, economic analysis, where they make solutions as to how they were able to change the situation at Sierra Leone. But Mr. Shilo, you go correct me if I'm wrong. The part where Mr. Suma say a fine for we talk about the level of decentralization. I think it go a little above what Tijam Kabab in the past by introducing gubernatorial powers in each district. I don't know if that gets to do with a breakdown of presidential powers in Sierra Leone. That will require an overhaul of the constitution. Correct me if I'm wrong that side. I don't know how that will get something. I don't feel say na today business that one day, and they really wish for everything they will do today to change the economic situation of the people, and as the software is quite unprecedented. So that one you will give me explanation of one later. The other thing Mr. Suma emphasized, the NGC makes one or has made one mistake. If the other caller we see a discourage, get hope. In the try to say, well, if you don't get hope over the NGC, you don't go over the SLCP or the APC. We don't live for 60-something years. They don't destroy the country. Of course, they are both to be blamed because they have been in power for that long. That is true. But it's not an excuse for somebody can make one mistake and compare them to that. Because they started with that very one mistake where the NGC don't make so. And unfortunately, in this day and age, this modern day, where people their eyes are open, technology don't grow. We get means for access information and know how things they happen quicker and record times compared to the NDs, and they will in fact encourage the SLPP APC or destroy the country for that long. So I just want to make clear, say that one mistake where NGC do so, it was very, very devastating. And that one mistake the SLPP APC start off with. Now and don't make 60-something years of mistakes. So I'm not convinced. The other thing, if Mr. Suma remember, I don't engage on some time on this platform and other social media platforms as well, that Sierra Leone, as a people, are not feeling we don't get the political maturity for even understand the purpose of a third party for fight against two-party system. We not really don't prove serious for 60-something years. We don't get out. So that said, I always look out for points that I don't strongly always say against the criticism of political parties by name. I prefer the criticism of people who don't do them parties here, we don't contribute dangerously for destroy the country. I will call back anyway because the time don't sound make cannot disobey the law. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you adhering to the rules of engagement in terms of the length of time for talk. I greatly appreciate that. Mr. Suma, hold tight. Let me see if I can add one more call and then we'll give you opportunity for answer. And keep your thoughts in mind. Hello, caller. Please tell who side you call from.
Hello.
And if you wish, tell who your name.
Hello, Mr. Shilon. This now Omaro they call again.
Okay, Mr. Omar, thanks for calling.
Okay, one thing where I noticed by the whole discussion, because the way me take a note of this, it is a little bit above an interview, that like a positive discussion. And one thing where I observe about the whole thing is like, will they make some progress? The main problem where we get in that country, and we get most of the senior analysts and viewers, the track already from Mr. Kutumu to all. Una don't talk one thing, and una only repeat the same thing. Say Sierra Leone politicians, that drag man, they know Bubia. So now the problem that we get in that country, where you see, where them push one, it go from political party. Where they do stressed, it return back. And it get a whole bunch of people where they follow, where believe in the ideology, where they follow them. Then when they decide for return, people can be embarrassed, don't know how what thing they do, and then they find themselves in a very difficult situation, like what Mr. Suma do. One of the men that we have expanded NGC party. Because in as much as I've expanded the man way in the lead party, I've expanded one way the BNA because them we know much better. But at least we move on. And we want to see a third force, and I tell you, I say there is a space for third force. The space there. The only thing is that we need patient politicians. We need politicians where just after election and throw them policies out of the window and they wait for another elections. We need politicians where they stay on course. Now, last election, I see them pull some politicians, then drive some politicians in parliament. A big problem. Let them go na South Africa. Go ask Malema about how many times they don't root and they give speech. Police the root and go Tanado. Then they elect today, you see, they make progress. So now that we see the third force. Okay, like to me, we guessed under he talk the way talk. He talk everything, but we know he talk about the transport system. Maybe something I area. What if we see the transport system, most of the advanced worlds, we see the government take active part in transportation. They not left transportation where any kind jack and just can just go by motor car put on a street without any law. So waiting at the young policy towards that. That now one. Then two, I want to ask them. We don't see something where we really feel this presidential system of government. Mr. Suma, feel saying that a time this law would try a parliamentary system of government wherein they get a particular government go struggle because what will happen? This winners take all don't make them very difficult, and you see politicians they come almost and they come on free roll. Feel say forget a parliamentary system of government. Who say you see a particular government is struggle for forming government. And when you struggle for forming a government, you go on and make serious. If you like ask them how they kill people in Palestine, how it is struggle today within government, just because of a difficult forming government with people and really way before say very difficult. But that is the law. When you struggle for form your government, you go know the respect, you go respect the people in the government. But when you can't form a government that easy way, just because of one ballot, you don't form your own government. It go very difficult. You don't feel say that a time for let's alone try a parliamentary system of government. Thank you very much.
Go ahead, Mr. Suma.
Then guy they make very good point. But I want to start with the transportation side. Then I talk about some of the recommendations and we don't make. Let's look for and quick. We don't send for include to the recommendation with the tripartite committee, the work on for reform with electoral system. And the recommendation and they now part of waiting me feel to say go able for help for reform the way the power is going to be structured. We go give example to waiting with the experience in South Africa. For instance, but before I touch on Alakan to the transportation network, the guy actually right. I mentioned earlier in an earlier comment, say one of the best ways for reduce poverty, not to for measuring only by the monetary terms in terms of how much money person get, but how much access the person get to the basic amenities of life. I don't care how much million you get. If you dey salon, you don't get access to ambulance, you get heart attack, now die you die. So what good is your money? So the issue about transportation is one aspect where very important. Now, you get a short-term, you get a long-term plan. The short-term plan, we may go recommend, again, this is not on behalf of the NGC party because we know endorse it. It's a new idea as well we go for injecting to the party. We empower local governments, like in this case, the city council, the city council go get, which you call the city council bus or transportation network. Just like all the cities that we don't visit, both in Africa and around the world, including America and Europe. Now, side now the local city, local government, and they provide transportation network within the city, not to the central government.
Yep.
Salon now everything will look up to the central government, and because the central government not empower the local government not get money. But again, the lack of priority also by the local government, like Freetown City Council. You can't tell me say per all the millions the way they spend for do research about cat transportation. I mean that then thing the way they work out by wire. I don't know how for explain exactly let people understand.
Cable transport.
Yeah. Cable transportation where they get somebody like a cable like a box, so people in the cable in the thing they work on cable between one hill to another hill. Whose mommy go come out Waterloo, they get in basket of fish and granite for grand go na Dovecot, go get access to that cable transportation day. And yet the amount of money they don't spend for do the research alone is over $1 million to $2 million from their own record. $1 million is enough for start a transportation network inside Freetown City Council. Even if you go for invest in a cable transportation, that bus transportation where they get from Funkia to Waterloo to Funkia, that back and forth, you get 2-3 buses the way to go to the city and come. It will help for alleviate the burden where the people in the go through in terms of transportation. Now, in terms of the transportation network across the regions, is centered around 2 major areas. One, you get forget the road network. The road network we get right now, na death trap. Everybody knows say if you want die quick, na salon. Take transport, you travel, go upline, especially in a net. That's side of you in your life, you don't cut and short. And that is happening all the time. And according to World Bank statistics, about 35,000 people die on road accident na salon. Over 35,000 people die every year on road accident na salon. So that now one important aspect. So wetin me they recommend now forget a road network where now the central government they finance, where they give number, they get on route 1, route 2, route 3, route 4. One they come out from east to west, another they come out from south to north, and so on and so forth. So you get increased cost there, then they feed the roads there now. You left and they give the local governments them for take care and make you don't empower them with the resources for do that. Now, the one big area, forget government buses. Right now, we get government buses, but they're not enough. They're not well coordinated. They're not well managed. They're always the breakdown. Nobody know the way they account for them. So what you go do for able to get a system where you go get a public transportation network where they manage well? Guess what? Pass a law where say where this network here will they manage. Within 2 years, if you lose money 2 years consecutively, the first 5% of the leadership, 10% of the leadership all will be fired and replaced. And there will be an instituted audit. So if you the manager, where they run Salon Road Transport Corporation, no say if you lost year 1, you lost year 2, by law, you permanent secretary, everybody in that top leadership there, we are all gone. Then go audit now for that past 2 year day. You want retain your job. You don't go manage and well for let go profit. You don't go manage and well for let them boss then they survive. But what do they see? APC send look Kuruma, what did call this guy?
Logos.
Logos Kuruma for go buy boss. Almost and spend $100 million. The boss then come, not take 6 months and begin book down. Under NGC government, they call Logos. Let Like Nigeria go the answer to them boss then they. So the next boss will then go send for go buy boss. They go make sure say they buy the right type of bosses that we go for last. It's not gonna happen under NGC government. So if you set a system where I believe in systems, I not believe in like one man come today, he can't change the situation, everybody glad as you go, so all things crash. No, I believe in system. Where you don't set a Sierra Leone road transport network, you don't get the bus system. All man know say under normal circumstances, them bus here, then for last for 15, 20 years. The service network, the way they service them, the way they run them, the way they plan them, the areas the way they cover and stuff like that. The management knows say if you lost 1 10, 2 10, bam, you're out. So your own job for let continue for go there, depending upon the performance way they do. Believe in me, all man anybody where appoints you go hold and serious for Lego self. But right now, which you fet. This is the cost. Oh, the president now appoints me, I'm not answerable to you. You go get somebody that the manager, like Sierra Leone Road Transport Authority. The general manager, they always are insubordinate, not they answerable to him. Why? Because they get state out protection. I go run that kind of institution. I go for run a team when not answerable to you. Then you call to you tell them something, say, but afterwards, I've not been kind yesterday, I've not been well or something happened, or I've been go 1 week leave. Then nobody know do for the nobody don't touch me document too. But you know nobody know for run them. So that's the system that runs in Sierra Leone today. You only get in net. So the big elephant in the room is train service. Lack of priorities. This government saying they spend over $2 billion for build bridge between Lunge and Freetown.
Ridiculous.
Over $2 billion for build bridge between Lunge and Freetown. Out of the 7.5 million or 7.6 million Sierra Leoneans will get, how many of them will cross that bridge there for go Lunge? But that same 2.5 billion day go able for establish a railway network where they connect from Falaba to Pujaun.
Yep.
From Kailaun to Cambia district. From Putloko to Kono district. From Moyamba to Falaba. From Freetown to any part of the country. $2.5 billion. In fact, what we don't write, what we don't plan, if I get the means, I get the opportunity. The local transport network is not enough in terms of train. Now the sub-region, with a Mano River, because railway now capital intensive one. So if you don't get a Mano River Union railway network, we get 48-49% shares na the company. The 52% come from a foreign investor where they come. Every country provide their own portion of investment, contribution. Let's say the capital investment are like $20 billion. $20 billion for getting a railway network where they come up from way Yamoussoukro or way Abidjan into Bouquet inside Guinea. It pass through Sierra Leone and Liberia. It connect them inside and they. So the local government and now the different government and go get a feeder road now where feeder railway will connect to that one day. What in go mean? A company, a railway company, construction company, no go one can bring all the machinery there inside Salon for build a $2 billion project. $2 billion for a small thing for them. You don't go take all the machinery and come out France or come out England or come out China for bring down the cost of bringing them machinery and they alone. You go down eat into some of that money there. But if you tell them, say we get a 20 billion contract for run railway from Bouquet, the extreme corner of Guinea, right to the top, right down into Yamoussoukro or Ivory Coast. They get stationed them across. That's how there's somebody will come out where they can be and now you want to go Kailaun. You just jump inside that same train there, then drop on a Kailaun quick, the train pass. Then you go able to attract heavy investors. We go say, wow, for 20 billion, yes, we can take that contract and come. When I read about South Korea, the way they build a railway network, then contract a French company. Then give the contract to a French company. then with the condition that the French company don't only partner with a South Korean company, but then they train South Koreans for collectively build and run the train network. After a certain year, the French then kick out the South Korean company take them. Because the French technology and then we want, and then pass that technology to South Korea. We can do that same thing in a salon. We can do that same thing in the sub-region. Where you don't get train service. Every developed nation around the world, every developed, I don't see no developed country around the world will not get train service. None. Not a single one. Anyone where you get, where you call, then get on get train service for over hundreds of years ago. We lay the foundation for ship heavy equipment them, ship them produce them, ship then the market wares, ship the population at a much cheaper rate than bus service way Seka Stephen can eliminate all the railway just for make money in the name of whatever, forget bus services. So that now lack of priorities where government leaders then will get na Salona get. If me in a position like that one day, I want to take a project like that one day, 2.5 billion, instead of I put another Lunge bridge there, where 1% of the population said that they can cross them, and they put them in a railway network where 80% of the population will use.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suma. In fact, in addition to that, very quickly, talking about railroad, let me just say the one beyond with country boundary might be maybe some development down the road, like Mano River kind of train railroad. But we can add to we own local services in terms of railroad, which I agree, light rail, what we call subways. I mean, we need them. Yeah. So, but this is not a good thing about bringing ideas. When you talk, me talk, somebody talk, we all go as a people, come up with the best of ideas, we'll go help the country. And we know say subways usually not only are they much faster, they're a whole lot cheaper, you know, and then kind of a thing than they. But let me go back because, like I say, I want to maximize your presence in terms of people calling. So let me give them priority. Hello, caller. Please tell we what side you call from, and if you wish, tell me your name.
Hello, viewers.
Yes. Good evening.
Before the caller, okay, when the caller talk, remember I've been talking about that decentralization, where that guy mentioned about election structures, about parliament.
Yes, I make note of
elections.
Make note of it. Okay.
Let the caller wears. Go ahead.
Hello, caller.
Let the caller.
Yes. This is Abdullah again from New Jersey.
Yes, Mr. Abdullah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I'm not being finished me thought. Thanks again. So as I've been saying, brilliant ideas from Mr. Suma. Brilliant ideas, I have to be honest. However, I just the look of things that we practically implementable and some of them doable, but how, especially the lack of the political will, leadership will, all of the ideas that we did so, and as you clearly say, these are individual ideas from your personal ideas, and I guarantee you say they're very good. It's dishonesty if I say they're not good. But now, I think of when you even get to channel them to your party NGC, how the entire party will welcome that, will take them and make them something actionable. So these are some of the fundamental problems we get in Sierra Leone. I say, oh, we share the talk say, yes, I really applaud them for encourage, for remain, for hold tight, my NGC, that's fine, because the biggest disappointment me in a meal lifetime, where I don't face amongst the politicians there, now from my boss, Kanda Yukela. And I'll tell you, see, I admire your courage, I applaud you for that, but I'm telling you, it will be very challenging. You really have to convince a good number of people that will be dated, and some of who within our party, I mean, APC, I have to say, it takes a very, very good challenge for making you able to do it to that point. So that said, I don't know, forgive me if I know they follow, but since Mr. Kanda Yukela make this decision, I don't remember if I don't see a clear position where you take for dissociate yourself from either Kande Yumkela in action or the thing where you been support alongside Kande Yumkela with by painting the SLPP then. I mean, what I say then prior to this last election, say now a better option because when I don't talk within Mother BOC, blah blah blah. You know, after that, the only thing we see, Kande Yumkela actually got a job with Mother BO. People like you, unfortunately, even though in our agreement they be part of that, you don't get job, other people don't get job. And now we see you remain again. I tell you, say, I applaud your courage because some people still for the rebel and continue for CCA, power, another building and job. I applaud your courage again. So continue. I mean, you get to stand for what you feel say good and give everything you get to them. So finally, I just want to say, you may make a very important position. Take a very important position that one thing we will never decide to form the coalition and the fact say, you may feel say the other side be very violent. After the election, there would have been tremendous violence against so many Sierra Leoneans. But what's in a position of the violence that will don't happen after the election till date from Mother View in government? I'm not feel say I get a public record of you say you really don't come out and make a comparison, or you still feel say that violence we will anticipate prior to election. It be worse than every violence we don't happen before. When this election happened 2023 up to now, we talk whether it get to do with the killing of people then with impunity. Now McKinney go shoot somebody, then say that crossfire die. Whether it happened where the president said don't deny them, go shoot in a political party opposition office, kill somebody they will don't serve in the country for years. So what do you do with all of that? Because you get to convince some of we, although we really think you this time run a force for convicts. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Well, for us to remind the callers, there will be no more other call being taken because Mr. Suma had agreed to come on board and just talk to you for 2 hours. So we are running over time, so we'll get ample time for answer your question, the last question, or the questions before that. Then after that, we will shut down. There will be no more calls being taken. So, Mr. Suma, the rest of the time is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I come to the structure of government, the way they influence the power structure of the country, let's answer the last caller in comment. I will come to that first one where I want to talk about. The guy is absolutely right. The amount of violence, I want to let we all think she don't force, we think for a second. Imagine waiting be happening in 2018 after Mother Bio take over the first time. The amount of violence where they unleash, where in supporters they unleash on APC supporters across the country was unbearable. One woman at Kailaun will get record where he really then rape him, then beat him, then rape him because she support APC. Then beat people in Akenima because they support APC. Then beat other people them. We attempt for demonstrate na that fishing place where they call them
Tumbo.
near God.
Tumbo.
Kill people and they attack people in Awatalo, kill them. Get young man in a prison. Innocent people and don't lock them in a prison. Already you don't lock them up. You set up a system and go then kill them inside it. Hey. The day Papa God go really turn his vex. Yeah. So man go deal suffer. All the one day happen under in government. Not to talk about the innocent youth man the way they go kill Namakeni. So realistically, as the man rightly say, whilst we they talk about August 26, was it August or September 26, where they make that riot?
August 10?
August 10, yes, August 10. We should not forget the amount of human rights abuses where them very people and they don't go throughout the years. They don't suffer with throughout the years in the hands of a tyrannic government. It's probably unfortunate this caller not being to follow me then 10 and day. I am on record of condemning each and every one of those violences, those acts of violence. Each and every one of them. I called each one by their names. And I warned against them, and I warned about the consequences. Because when people lack any peaceful means of redressing their grievances, they have no option but to resort to violence. And that is what you see examples happening. And believe in me, whether we like it or not, the day power change from SLPP today, you go back to APC. And they bet me life today, put it on record. You will see the same thing repeating itself.
I agree with you. I agree.
So my appeal to my fellow Sierra Leoneans, if you want peace and stability, do ya NGC is ours. Come join us. I don't own NGC. None of us own it. It's now available. The man for claim saying I own, I don't left, we don't go. If you know them want to destroy the party, well, some of we not agree. Just like the last call I be make, where then how then weaken APC, how then weaken PMDC, then weaken PDP, and then that same way then want do we for ruin we. But we decide say no, and Tina you to go. This agreement will make you not agree respect them. You go, but we party with the whole arm. Now you save NGC. Now you save NGC, and we will continue for build them up and move on forward. All them condemn and then will condemn them. But that fear, as himself don't admit, it was a genuine fear that existed then. If APC be win, wallahi billahi, that same thing where SLPP don't do them. I do you for don't resort pan. Who still will focus on development? Who stand will go focus on development? And guess what? The one them back that the SLPP them be not ready for any eventuality. For letting challenge back if not let the fete happen. They will not want that. Now, let we come to this issue about forming a government where they introduce a system where go weaken the power of the central government. I don't touch on some of that one day in terms of the way the power structured in the constitution, where the president get the ultimate power for dictate what thing they happen at the judiciary. So as a result, they control the judiciary. The same thing they happen with the House of Parliament. Because the president get an influence for determining who that will be speaker of the House of Parliament, he get an influence over the party when are the majority in a parliament. So obviously, indirectly, it control parliaments too.
Well, so he has an influence over the appointment of the clerk of parliament.
Not the clerk of parliament, even the speaker of parliament.
Yes, I know. I say he also has
control over the appointment of the clerk of parliament. So as a result, Abulai Conte again, this was all Abulai Conte is making because he was hoping to be president so he can use then loopholes there for controlling every organs of government. Unfortunately, he not be president. Now the country now don't tie down to the same stupid constitution. Yeah, so all them fixes then now we need for get into place. But the major one, what I want to speak to, when one of the recommendations that we don't make to the tripartite committee we don't send 2 days ago, now say this system here where they get a runoff where the first round not able to achieve the 55% threshold a party need for let go form a government, then they say for do a runoff. We, now NGC, they recommend say, let we get rid of that runoff day. We'll get rid of them completely. Let there be no runoff. When then do a first round and no party able to achieve the 55% threshold, Then parties then now we get smaller percentages, 5, 10, 3, 5. Anyone we able for form an alliance or coalition with them for reach that 55% threshold, now they will give the constitution for allow for form government. That is exactly what is happening in South Africa. So as a result, when they do the first round, where ANC able for win the 50% plus one where they need, now then they talk to the smaller parties then for form government. Otherwise, the biggest opposition go do them. If the biggest opposition do them, they able bring other smaller parties then come to them in terms of policy and ideology. ANC is out of power. ANC no go and do that. So then go bow down to the demand and the dictate of the smaller party then form a real constitutionally binding alliance, as opposed to this kind of loose system we get right now. In addition to that one day, some of the recommendations that we don't send to PPRC, well, it's not to PPRC, to the tripartite committee, we submit 3 days ago, where we send them to other political parties, they themselves send their own inputs, then follow move. Now, center around making that changes. The second one we'll change, we'll ask for, let we change the PR system. The PR system where they require a 11.9% threshold. The PR system was just geared towards eliminating other political parties, and you don't succeed in doing that. You don't eliminate two major parties that will be in the House of Parliament, NGC and C4C, because of this PR system. So they say we get rid of the PR system, we get a one-round type of election, or you reduce the PR system threshold to 5%. We go able for the kind they happen in Italy, they happen in Israel, they happen in other parts of the world, we then get that same similar type of PR system. The third recommendation we send, we say during the counting of the vote, let them get an official website so that in every polling station, vote result by party and every polling center, then for automatically upload them within 3 hours, the completion of the voting on that website day. So that the party leaders and all parties that will participate will get access to that information as the preliminary result. If at any point they challenge any polling station or polling center, that result they will be eliminated until further investigation. Then when they send the data up to the tally center, when in the tally them, we recommend say like a screen day, so their observers they all go see the numbers as in the enter them, so that we go see the numbers both in terms of actual numbers and percentages as in they enter the data. Down there now compared to waiting and don't enter at the polling centers and polling station, now you go able for now for verify and publish that one day as your official result. That's recommendation number 4. Recommendation number 5, we talk about this issue about political violence. We don't observe, say, during elections or during campaign time, when members of the ruling party, they inflict violence on other opposition party members, they inflict damages to the polling station and polling agencies them and election systems them, because then are members of the ruling party, the police and the ECSL wait for take legal action, they do nothing. Now we cite the runoff will be happen na constituency 110, the by-election, where NGC participate, we put up with candidates them, but SLPP stalwarts them, including some ministers them, then go to the ballot boxes, then destroy. We get video recording of them, people and get video recording of them on social media, where they see the minister, they go destroy ballot box and scatter and they jump and tap them. Police not saving. The electoral commissioner, instead of he cancel that particular center day, where obviously if he been cancel that center day, even if he cancel that center day, APC for win that seat day. You know one. Instead, they cancel the entire election because you know why SLPP for lose. NGC will participate. We lost over $15,000. We will finance we candidate. they say, let the law give right to people that are victims of political violence for take legal action against the individuals and the party where they represent. So in situation like that one day, NGC for don't get the right if we been getting our electoral laws for sue any individual and who seen at the where police not really take into consideration. We will forget the right for sue in a court. We get the right for sue the party in a court for recover our money there in losses or on losses. We say let them put that inside the law. So that when somebody want go case Kushkash, if remember say, if they case me just not go sue me in a court, me party no go there for protect me. If party can go sue the party inside, the party go distance himself. You, where the party they send for go set Kushkash, go take them. The third one, we say let political parties them be required for take political risk insurance, which means if they go burn somebody in motorcar, then damage somebody in house, they're able to identify who that one. They're able to investigate and identify whose party you belong to. And that party they do run for. Then they sue you or sue the party. So if the party not get insurance for pay for that motorcar, you not get insurance for pay for that way name day, then go first insurance for take pay. Otherwise, the party not for take part in an election. So when you get situation like that, the party leadership then go demonstrate for make sure say them party members and not go cause kuskas na side them. The fifth one or sixth one, seventh one, we talk say whenever they say election, the Electoral Commission, he always they hire people them were affiliated with the ruling party. Like this particular ECSL, when they do statistic, according to the Secretary General, over 70 to 80% of the people that they hire for polling agents, they all are affiliate of the SLPP party. All are affiliate of belonging to the, most of them belong to one tribe. So in a situation like that, you don't get somebody for go man a polling station. You not go expect them for rig because their interest na them party, and you don't put them there for protect them party against winning from other party them. So they say in the election process, was in the nomination of not only the commissioners, including the chief commissioner, we forget a system where the other political parties and the opposition will forget a say, even before the nomination go to the House of Parliament. But right now, Bulai content in Sharon and the constituency in consultation with. So when the president want for appoint the chief commissioner, sometimes na phone call number in they make, or if they don't make phone calls, they just send letter say, I don't appoint so in our House of Parliament. To them, that consultation is required, is fulfilled. So then clauses and they we need for fixed them. So they say, let them include that one day, let political parties and they part and parcel of the process, not only in the nomination of the commissioners, but also in the hiring of polling agents them, so that we'll be able to vet them. Let not be saying we just go hire the young party members the normal for go man the polling station that will lead to corruption. The final one, we talk about diasporas, the diaspora voting. The world where they live in a global village, where the world is narrow because of communication. First time it been possible for all to do so. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it been possible for all getting Canada medium here, where they communicate everybody within a salon get access to internet, go able for listen to it right now. So the world is becoming a global village. And we don't see say most of the countries the way they develop, now countries the way they embrace the diaspora. So we they say the diaspora voting for put on at the table for fixed electoral system. And also
It's
for allow
time.
people it's past time. If we allow people we get dual citizenship, as long as you born and bred inside salon before you go out for go fend better. And she say if you get the citizenship or the side way go get more opportunity for get better. That not for eliminate you for letting you go contest an election as alone. And also somebody go get citizenship abroad. Somebody where a born and bred some side. They can't salon, you can't get dual citizenship as salon. Salon being second citizenship. Not to run they talk, but I not forget the right for contest. But if you born in a salon, you grow up in a salon, then you go out. You force citizenship. You're a native born Sierra Leonean. You go get citizenship outside. Then for give opportunity for them go able for contesting elections. So those are the recommendations we don't submit so far to the tripartite committee, we them for include, and we don't begin get discussion with them. We don't get to, in fact, we get meeting tomorrow also. We together with some other political parties them. So change is coming. NGC is trying to effect the change, but the appeal they make to everybody, we admit to mistake and extend apologies. Do ya this time around? Not to say na a party we like Temu Bangura go say na get PDP, or we like Charles Maga go say na get PMDC, Khalifa Smart go say na get UNPP. NGC right now we all get them. Nobody will come out say na get them. The man will go claim say na get I don't go. So we get the biggest opportunity. We will not be getting a PMDC. We get opportunity. We will not be getting a UNPP. We get opportunity. We will not be getting a PDP. We get that opportunity inside NGC right now. You can't today. You register today. You pay subscription today. Believe me, you are equal in terms of ownership of this party like me. As long as you do the right thing for all moving forward. So if you feel say NGC get weaknesses, be a calm. Can't fix them weaknesses, then they let's move the party forward together as Sierra Leoneans. And now we only hope right now. Only hope. If you don't want I do you government, then NGC is your only option right now. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell VOS thank you for the opportunity. We then give me an opportunity. We then give other people them for letting them ask the burning questions and where they monitor them about the issues of the politics and alone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Suma. Yeah, that's as a little touch to all the recommendations they want to make. You mentioned, because as a lawyer, I cannot resist the temptation. There are a couple of things that I think will add to the whole thing. Number one, when you talk about suing people who commit political violence, to be able to sue them. Well, I mean, of course, with the mixture of due process and all of that kind of stuff. Quickly, I'm not expecting a response. I just want to make you just hear me out. That would be, first, if we make election violence, which I think the law covers now as a criminal offense. So once you establish the criminality of the conduct of the person, that alone subject them to 50% of liability. So the only liability to prove in a civil suit will be nexus or connection with the, not connection with the political party, but that at the behest of someone influential in the party, he committed the offense. That would be more fair. And the other thing, election rigging. If we really want to do away with them, election officers here, them trying for rig elections, what both parties are guilty of, just make it a crime. If you, because any country, any civilized country, election rigging is a crime. So if the election officer or the electoral commissioner instruct people in for rig election, that should be a crime of itself. I think we get a way where we can prevent all in here. But I thank you very much. Please,
but the problem, the problem is not about making them a criminal offense. The problem is the enforcement of the law itself, because the police and ECSL will get the constitutional mandate for take action. They want then they right now, then they support the ruling party,
the government of the day.
So if the person where they perpetrates the violence now a member of the ruling party, then obviously they need to do that. So that maybe we get for now begin for institute a system where the legal act, the statute of limitation go extend beyond 10 years. So in other words, where you party don't come on a power, as long as the evidence still show, say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, now this you do, the next government where they can go investigate you and lock you up, then prosecute you. So the statute of limitation needs to be extended to beyond 10 years. So you're not going to feel protected by your party. So when them begin members say, even the ECSL chairman, like where that Conte man be there, wait name, that chairman, if you don't get evidence, say you participate in the rigging of an election 10 years, 15 years ago,
you should be prosecuted.
American system.
Yeah.
American system, you wait 10, 15 years, then we'll come back after you. So the statute of
Thank you,
limitation,
sir.
that's a good point. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. We appreciate every bit of it. Thank you for going over time. Please come back.
Thank you.
You're always welcome
Thank
at
you.
VOS. Yeah. So take care.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend or whatever
Bye-bye.
remains of the weekend.
Indeed.